Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Raw and Rare Podcast. This podcast is dedicated to promote the endeavors of raw and rare individuals or groups in the field of music, arts, literature, culture, and education from all genres and platforms who have, in one way or another, created impact in their respective communities. We aim to share their experiences and insights with the intention to inform and uplift the viewers and listeners. So stay tuned for more exciting episodes where we hear it, see it, and feel it only here on Raw and Rare Podcast. And before I introduce our special guest tonight, I'd like to thank all our regular viewers and listeners in Winnipeg, all over Canada, in the States, around the world, and most especially in the Philippines. Maraming salamat sa patuloy na pagsuporta at panunood ng Raw and Rare Podcast. Mabuhay kayong lahat. Ayun, there we go. And sabi nga natin, for our special guest tonight, she's a Filipino-Canadian indie artist, singer-songwriter, a multi-talented force of music who has explored both the creative side of music writing and performance and the technical side of audio engineering and sound production. In 2018, she won as the USA North America representative for Wishcovery Season 2 and was sent to Manila, Philippines to compete with 7 other grand finalists. She was paired with Miss Odette Quesada and performed Nasa Iyo at the Smart Araneta Coliseum in the Philippines. In the summer of 2018 also, she wrote her first single, Puzzle Piece, after attending the Blessed Coast Music Festival. That single is also on her latest EP, Panting Heart, under Lily Stars Records. So without further ado, mga kaibigan, tonight, let's all welcome to the show, Audrey Arellano, Day Rose, mga kaibigan. Hi, Audrey!
Hi.
Hello,
Hi, how are
hello.
you?
I'm good, I'm good.
Kamusta?
Yeah, kumusta ka?
Thank you for having me. I'm good.
Yeah,
Okay
it's a
naman.
great pleasure to have you. Alam niyo mga kaibigan, no, it's been since season 1 of this podcast na in-invite na natin si Audrey and she responded positively. You know, we've been planning to do this ever since, but then season 3 na ngayon and laking pasalamat
Finally
natin.
nag-work
Finally,
na.
natuloy.
It worked out,
Because
yeah.
she's been so busy with her latest EP, which is we're gonna talk about it later, you know, and in this show. But before anything else, you know, to you, Audrey, thank you so much for giving me, you know, the digital copies of your first EP. You know,
You're welcome.
I have all the tracks there, and then I think that was in September 29th on the night before her
Yeah,
release.
the night
Is-
before officially
yeah,
released.
before the official release, isa po tayo sa Raw and Rare Podcast na nabigyan ng mga kauna-unahang copy. So, thank you. Maraming salamat.
Thank you for
Thank you.
listening.
Yeah, and we've been playing that ever since. And then we were we were wondering, you know, kailan natin mag-guess yung singer artist ng mga kanta na to. And then finally nangyari na. Thank you. Okay. So Audrey, before we start, no, please say hi to our viewers and listeners, saka mga fans and followers mo.
Oh gosh. Hi
Yeah.
everyone. This is Day Rose. How are you all doing? Shout out to my friends and family and listeners from Vancouver, from the Philippines, LA, and anywhere else in Canada, and also I think I have some listeners in Austria. So hello to
Wow.
everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Audrey, you know. So we all know, mga kaibigan, Audrey Arellano here, also known as Day Rose. No, she became known after the Wish Covery Season 2. No, this is under the Wish 107, right? And then they have these a talent artist show, which we will talk about later. But then let's ask Audrey here. You know, Audrey, how was your upbringing as an artist way back in the Philippines? You know, when you were younger, you know, has it ever crossed your mind before, no, that I'm gonna be an artist, singer, songwriter one day? You know?
Yeah, actually it started since I was still really young. I think that's music is what I've been doing since I could remember,
Mm-hmm.
because my dad got me into music,
Yeah.
and like attending church
Mm-hmm.
all the time as well. Pretty
Yep.
much grew up in church,
Mm-hmm.
and all of my family are music, what do you call it, oriented.
All right.
And yeah, so bata pa lang ako, music
Wow.
na talaga.
Talagang
Though even though there
environment.
was
Yep.
this, I remember there was this one time, because you know PMA
Mm-hmm.
in Baguio.
Yep.
My Because I was born in Baguio, and
Okay.
my parents would always bring my brother and I over there, and
Okay.
I remember telling my parents I want to be a soldier one day, but
Okay.
then they said no, of course,
Okay.
because it's not safe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, other than that, I think I always just wanted to be an artist or a musician. Started in church. My tito, who's a pastor, he
Okay.
taught me how to play the piano first,
Oh.
and then I moved into guitar from my dad, and then ever since then I've just been playing the guitar mainly.
Mm-hmm.
Then I started writing songs. I started writing songs with my dad first, actually.
Wow. Yep.
So I'm hugely influenced by him and the way he writes songs,
Mm-hmm.
which is like ballad and love songs.
Yes.
So
We. Yeah.
so yeah, and then tuloy-tuloy na until we moved here
Mm-hmm.
from the Philippines, to Squamish first, and
Okay.
then you know s- kept doing music, and now I'm here in Vancouver, moved to the city. So
Okay.
yeah.
Wow, we'll talk more about the when you came to Canada, no? But
Okay.
yeah, like you mentioned, Daddy Arman. Do you call him Daddy Arman or yeah, Papa?
Yeah, Armanda.
Yeah, oh, you just call him
Da.
Arman.
Yeah, just
Or
da. Like my
hey,
friends, and I
hey,
call
hey,
him da.
all right. Or let's say your dad Arman. You know, he was so instrumental in molding you as a performer. You know, like you
Mm-hmm.
mentioned, you'll write songs, sing songs, perform with him during childhood. But you know, we just want to know, how did he train you, or in a way mentored you? Because we all know Daddy Arman. I've seen his Facebook
He's
page. He's also an
something.
artist. Yes, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Tell us
So
something
he's
about Daddy Arman. A little
well.
bit.
I joke around sometimes. I prefer to him, or I refer to him as like a, what do you call it? There's that term for a like frustrated rock star,
Really?
something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, because well, he was
Mhm.
in a band in Saudi or Taiwan, I think. Like he
Oh,
was
okay.
always musical. He wrote songs. He
Yeah.
had a band, and he played a lot. But I think he wasn't able to what do you call it? He wasn't able to pursue music because he had to him and
Yeah.
my mom had to work and support
Okay.
us. So
Yep.
which I'm really really thankful for that they did that for
Oh,
us.
that's great. Yep.
But he still continued playing music. Right now he's just he does a lot of karaoke, or
Okay.
like
Yeah.
most Filipinos do,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he sings a lot at home, and records himself singing.
Oh.
Recently, actually lately, him and I have been we just started writing songs together again.
Mm-hmm.
So which I'm really really excited about, because it's I don't know, when my dad and I write songs together, we come up with something kind of like a combination of his style and my style, because
Oh.
he's got this like super old, classic
Don't say that.
kind of love
Okay.
song,
Yeah.
and then
Okay.
and then my style is a little more like,
Mm-hmm.
I try to be a little more modern and relatable to the younger listeners. So
Yep.
like when I combine my sound with, for example, his lyrics.
Okay.
Usually, it's his lyrics that are kind of
Mm-hmm.
poetic
Yep.
and deep.
Mm-hmm.
It I don't know. The song turns out quite beautiful, and it excites me. So,
Oh.
which
Mm-hmm.
actually, we just finished recording a single that him and
Wow.
I wrote together, but
Okay.
that's gonna be it's gonna be talked about and released
Yeah.
maybe next year. But
Wow.
and we just finished a Christmas song, so which is gonna be
Wow. Looking
released
forward
this
to that.
Christmas.
Yeah, yeah,
So
it's coming. It's Christmas around, just around the
yeah,
corner, right?
I've
Wow.
never written Christmas songs. This is the first time, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
You
it's tough. It
wow.
was tough to write a Christmas song.
Mm-hmm. But you did it,
Yeah,
Audrey,
with the
yeah.
help of my dad.
Yeah, sure. You mentioned that like when you're like a team, doing you mentioned his style of songwriting, which is more poetic, and then your music, which is, let's say, upbeat
Mm-hmm.
for these younger generations.
Mm,
Pag nag-combine, no, ang ganda ng kinakalabasan, right?
yeah.
Does this resonate on your current EP now? Like when what I hear or what the people hear on your current EP, is that what you were telling us? The combination of your dad's
Yeah,
style and
so
yours? Yeah.
my EP is actually, if you listen to the songs like individually, you'd think that, it's a different,
Hmm.
completely different genre, or it came from
Yeah,
a
for
different
sure.
album.
I know. Yeah.
But that was kind of the my goal with this first EP that I have, because the songs uh themselves are they're a story of my personal life when it comes to relationship, and
Hmm.
obviously that's from a completely different part of my
Okay.
life for
Yeah.
each song.
Hmm.
And also, what I realized, or what I found, is each time I've written a song, I was in a different part of my life, and so I was also influenced by different genre at the time.
Hmm.
So like when I write that song, for example, Panting Heart sounds, I wrote the song Panting Heart first out of all the songs from the EP,
Hmm.
and I was like going through some tough times back then. And then the next couple songs after that have a little more like, I don't know, jazz influence, because I
Yeah.
was surrounded by a lot of jazz players from
Wow.
Vancouver. So
Yeah.
like, and then after, the Tagalog ones were heavily influenced, of course, by the Philippines when I spent time there last summer. So it's like
Okay.
each one is sounds different, but it was
Hmm.
because I each time is a different
Yeah.
experience for
Yeah.
me. But um I think the one question that I get a lot is, what's your genre?
Hmm.
And I've always had, a hard time answering that, because I don't know what my genre
What's
is.
playing in your mind
But
right now? Like,
yeah,
what's your
well,
genre of music? Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And it's just well, someone told me that or I guess my dad and a few other people, they said that um my genre is my voice, I guess, because like
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter what kind of style or what kind of feel or vibe the song is,
Nice.
there's
Yes.
always, you can always tell that it's me singing,
Wow.
or
Yeah.
so I guess.
I could attest to that. Yeah. I know when I listen to this your EP. Honestly, I don't really wanna what do you call this? Like typify a song, or you put this genre or song into a genre. Like
Mhm.
I just listen to music, and then like you said, the song or the voice defines your genre. It
Yeah,
doesn't matter
and
whether you play like rock and roll, funk music, or jazz. As long as it's you singing, that's you. I
yeah.
remember one quote from Robert Smith of The Cure, if you know him, right?
Oh, I love
And
them.
then yeah, and then he said, lots of people are telling us that we're goth rock or new wave,
Yeah.
or post punk or whatever. But he said, and then what do you call your music then? Asked the journalist. This is Cure music. That's it. No more,
Oh, is
no
that
less.
how
He
like
said that.
is
It's
that
Cure
why
music.
their
Hmm.
band name is The Cure?
Yeah, actually, no, they were already the Cure, right? But then
Oh,
they
okay.
don't really, call themselves a goth rock or,
Yeah.
yeah. I read this from one of an interview, of Robert Smith. That's what he, and then tumatak sa isipan ko, oo nga, no.
Yeah,
like you
because they
don't
kind of
really,
like
yeah.
some of their songs are like, new wave, and then
Mm,
others are like completely like ballad. So it's
yes, yes.
yeah.
Which is,
Yeah.
and then, yeah. So, Dayros, mga kaibigan here, if you listen to her EP, we'll post here later where we can purchase the album. But then I'm just one of the lucky people who have the digital copy, the digital copies of her tracks, So blessed here. Speaking about blessed, in 2018, you said it's a very notable experience at the Blessed Coast Music Festival. You know,
Yeah.
this some
So
yeah.
it's a music festival that was held in Squamish where I
Mhm.
grew up.
Okay.
Or when I moved to from the Philippines,
Yep.
and it's it was around the time where I was going through a lot of changes in my life.
Okay.
It was, I think, summer of 2018, and my friend, one of my really good friends, um, she was really nice, and she just wanted to take my mind off things. So she
Mm-hmm.
invited me to this festival, and it was a it was a very different festival. And I've been to a lot of festivals, music festivals, and I've worked a lot of music festivals,
Yep.
and this one in particular is one of those uh, events where it's very family oriented. And I don't think there was drinking involved.
Oh.
There was no drinking or
Okay.
no other bad
Yeah. Yeah.
stuff
Wow.
involved. And you see
Mm-hmm.
kids running around, like
Okay.
families everywhere. There's breathing workshops. There's
Oh.
it was crazy, and the
Mm-hmm.
music was really cool. It was
Yeah.
different. It was a combination of different types of musics and genres,
Mm-hmm.
but very distinct at the
Mm-hmm.
same time. I'm
Yep.
not really sure how to
Yeah.
explain that, but yeah, and that was I guess being surrounded by so much positivity from people, and like so much love. I was just incredibly inspired to write
Wow.
a song after having like a huge what do
Mm-hmm.
you call it, writer's block. Or
Mm-hmm.
so like I wasn't
Yeah.
able to write a song for the
And
longest time. And that
until
was
that
when Puzzle
event, yeah.
Piece, yeah, that
Wow.
was when Puzzle Piece came out.
Wow.
And which, like, my friend actually brought the guitar for me. I didn't even bring a guitar. And
Okay.
then she shows up and she's like, "Hey Drake, I've got a
Wow.
guitar for you just in case." I'm like, "Oh,
Wow.
okay."
So it just
Yeah,
happened for
so
a reason, guitar here,
yeah,
and then
exactly.
so
Yeah.
inspired, and then wow. Okay,
Yeah,
that
actually, it's
song
it's
puzzle
really cool
piece.
to talk about it, because it
Mm-hmm.
brings me back to that time. Like, I
Yeah.
literally wrote that song in front of a river with a bunch of people, like,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Wow.
bunch of people,
Mm-hmm.
what do you call it, swimming and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned Squamish, right, in British
Mm-hmm.
Columbia. You know what? Correct me if I'm wrong. I just recently seen a movie on Netflix, and it was shot at Squamish.
Probably there's a
Yeah,
lot of movies and shows and media, and
yeah,
lots of stuff happening there. It's a beautiful place.
yeah, and it just portrayed the characters there as artists. Like most are artists, but I forgot the
Mm.
title. Never mind.
Okay.
Audrey,
You'll probably remember later.
I will. I'll probably research it now that
Yeah.
I just remembered it. Audrey,
Okay.
tell us about your stint at Wish Covery, because we all know you became worldwide known, after Wish Covery. Believe it or not, because with Wish Covery, you came to so you won the North American finals. You were sent to the Philippines, and then you performed with the legends like Miss Odette Quesada. You had guesting at Paco's place as well. All those stuff. It never ended. Like you had,
Yeah.
yeah, lots of show gigs until the pandemic. You were still doing online shows. Can you tell us, when you started with Wish Covery, tuloy-tuloy na siya. Masasabi natin
Yeah.
gano'n.
So,
Mhm.
um, I think I would say it started for me, like, music wise. Things kind of started rolling summer of 2018 when I wrote the song Puzzle Piece. And then, that I started to slowly get back to music and writing again.
Mm-hmm.
And then because before that I hadn't performed any shows. I hadn't really
Yeah.
written any songs. I was just kind of, I wasn't really inspired, or I had completely pushed music away from my life. And end of 2018, a really good family friend of ours just randomly messages me. And this was during the day I was moving from my old place to another place. So it was like completely hectic. And it was moving from, uh, the other side of the town to the other side of the town. So like there was no, it probably would have taken like, probably takes an hour and a half or something. And then my friend just calls me and it's like, hey, Wish 1075 is in town, and they're doing, there's like I couldn't really understand what he was saying about Wish, but I just heard Wish 1075, and I was like, oh, that sounds really familiar, because I thought, you know, I knew that it was really famous in the
Yeah.
Philippines. It's like the biggest music platform over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so without even really listening to what it was all about, I just kind of, for some reason, I just felt like saying yes. And all he asked me to like sing a couple songs, and I was like, okay, sure. But then I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it though, because I'm moving right now and I have to drive like during rush hour traffic. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if I'm gonna make it. And then he said, it's okay, we're gonna wait for you. And I was like, okay. So like I packed my stuff. I drove for like an hour. It was like super traffic.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got there. I didn't think I was gonna make it, but there was like 30 people waiting for me. And then I was like panting so hard. So I was like, okay,
Oh.
I'm just gonna play a couple songs, and I did. And it was really nice. And then after that, they made me sign a paper.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what is this for?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, you just entered a contest. And I was like,
Oh.
oh, cool. So it's like, okay, sweet. And then I left, and then they got back to me a couple weeks after. They're like, congratulations, we're sending you to
Wow.
LA because
Wow.
you got to the next round. And
Mm-hmm.
so then I flew to LA, did the second round, third round,
Mm-hmm.
fourth round. That's when I met Miss Odette. And she's so cool, by the way. She's
Yeah.
awesome. And then I ended up winning the grand finals there to
Wow.
represent North America.
Hey.
And everything at that time, I remember everything was just so like surreal.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything, there was so much happening, because I also attended NAM week. I don't know if you're
Whoa.
familiar with.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was in NAM for the
Okay.
first time ever, because
Wow.
I had a friend that
Okay.
like um didn't need his badge, because
Yeah.
you can't just go to NAM, right? You have
Yeah.
to have a badge or know
Yeah.
somebody, or
Yeah.
you have to be an
Mhm.
associate from
Mhm.
a music company or something.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, I'm in LA, I'll take it. So
Mhm.
then like he transferred the badge to my name, and I was able to go. And
Wow.
then this was like, in between the second round
Mhm.
of the finals and like the third and fourth. So I was like,
Yeah.
I got through the second round, went to
Wow.
NAM, did the third and fourth, and then won the finals. And then and then they sent me, after that they sent me to the
Yeah.
Philippines, which was even crazier. Actually, before they sent me to the Philippines, they
Mhm.
sent me back to LA to record
Okay.
Nasayo, which that's when I met Miss Odette again, Kuya
Mhm.
Paco, and the band, the whole band that's behind the song Nasayo now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like I flew to LA, and then somebody picked me up from the airport,
Mhm.
straight to the studio, recorded the song, and then flew back to Vancouver. It was just nuts. And then went to the Philippines, and did the whole, it was crazy. There was so much, because I was there for 10 days, and before the grand finals there was a lot of prep, like
Yeah.
photo shoot, video
Mhm.
shoots, conferences, interviews, and the grand finals night, that I can't explain. Like
Yeah.
I've never been I've never been to Araneta Coliseum, let
Mhm.
alone like perform
Mm, yeah.
in it. And
Wow.
it was the craziest 2019,
Mm.
2018, 2019.
Wow.
I think were the craziest years of my life so
Mm-hmm.
far. And when I tell people what I went through, like one by one, like, in sequence, they're just
Yeah.
like, whoa,
Yeah.
that's intense. And I'm like, I
Like me
know.
too here. Like I'm literally hearing it straight
That's
from you. Like,
not
oh
even
really?
all. Like
Yeah, not
it's
even
just
oh yeah. Keep
no, it's
going.
not. Yeah. Nah.
Yeah, and
But
until like wish covery lang yan mga kaibigan, ano. And after wish covery, she started recording or doing her first EP recording sessions with
mhm.
notable instrumentalists from Vancouver. Can you tell us about the band? You know, the
Yeah.
you have a
So
name for the band or
well,
Mhm.
for the EP, I don't have an actual
Okay.
band.
Hmm.
Um I wish I did, like, the regular players and stuff.
Yep.
But most musicians here are super super busy
Okay.
with, playing with other bands too.
Yep.
But so the EP was recorded in two different times. The first three songs, Puzzle Piece, When I'm With You, and Bad News, were recorded when I got back from LA, when I
Mhm.
won after I won the grand finals, because I won some cash during that, like
Wow.
US
Mhm.
dollars.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is a lot of money. So like,
Yeah.
what do I do with it? And then
Mhm.
I was like, I didn't even think. I was just like, I'm gonna record some music. So like
Nice.
I
Good
contacted
thinking.
my
Yeah,
friends.
good choice.
Yeah, I contacted my friends. I was like, hey, like I wanna for the first time record some songs. So
Mhm.
we ended up recording. We actually recorded 5 songs during that time, but we only picked 3.
Mhm.
We only had time to finish 3, and yeah. So the musicians I was with they're all from Vancouver. They're all jazz trained musicians,
Wow.
amazing,
Mhm.
amazing musicians here in town. And
Yeah.
um yeah, and then I was also doing shows with that specific band. And then the last 3 songs were recorded just this past March or April, I
Mhm.
believe. And I think just before COVID, or during the time where COVID just started to kick
Mhm.
in, like
Yep.
full tilt.
Yep.
So we were able to finish recording the EP. And so I had another set of band, which
Yep.
they were all Filipinos, because
Mhm.
I think Lamar was the only one that's also in this set.
Mhm.
And because I had 2 Tagalog songs, so I wanted to get the most out of the recording. So I wanted
Yep.
to hire all Filipinos for
Okay.
the last 3 songs.
Yep.
And yeah, same thing. Amazing musicians. I play with them all the time, especially during when I do a lot of Filipino shows or Filipino gigs.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
And they're the band that's performing in the music video Di Mo Lang Alam.
Yeah. I've seen them.
Yeah.
We've seen them in the music video, and then even the snippets. You would post sometimes on your page. Like, oh, is this the band? Oh, nice. I would see your jam session sometimes.
Mhm.
So yeah, and notable instrumentals. You mentioned Lamar Alviar, and the likes of who else? Like who
Yeah.
plays?
So for this the Filipino band that I have
Mhm.
Lamar plays the drums.
Yep.
He's always been my or sorry, for the last 3 songs he plays the keys, but
Yep.
he's usually the drummer.
Mhm.
He also plays the sax and like everything else pretty much.
Yeah,
And
he's
then
a
we've
multi
got
instrumentalist.
yeah, he's
Yeah,
crazy. And then
yeah.
we've got Jeff Toledo, who played the drums, and he also directed the music video
Wow.
for Di
Okay.
Mo Lang Alam.
Mhm.
And then we have Uriah Clavio, and for bass, and then Alvin Brendan for guitar. And we actually have one non-Filipino. I lied. Her
Mhm.
name is
Mhm.
Vanessa, and Van Lefan, aka Van
Okay.
Lefan.
Mhm.
And she's Taiwanese, but
All right.
she learned the Tagalog songs. And
Wow.
she plays the flute and background vocals, and
Wow,
yeah,
even
it's really
background
cool.
vocals. Nice. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, she
cool.
she learned all the
Right.
Tagalog songs, and it's crazy.
Wow.
And then the first set of the band, I had Lamar on drums, Jean Saylor DJ on bass,
Mm.
I had Alex Flock on guitar, and Harvey Paris on keys.
Wow, ang
But
saya.
we
Yes.
recorded the full EP in one place with the same engineer. Recorded it in Rain City Recorders in Vancouver,
Yep.
and the engineer was Braden Ragno B Pockets, and
Okay.
same mastering engineer from Brock McFarlane from CPS. So like I
Wow.
tried to keep the team kind of,
Yeah.
close.
Yes. For sure. Wow. No. So that's the
Mm-hmm.
recording of the first EP, Panting Heart, right?
Mm-hmm.
Folks, here, Audrey here, mga kaibigan, by trade, she's an audio engineer. Just so you know, not just an independent singer-songwriter. By trade, she's an audio engineer. Audrey, you mentioned you went or you went to a music school for this audio engineering thing. Yeah, can you tell us
Yeah,
something
so
about that?
I went to Nimbus Recording School, or
Okay.
Nimbus Recording School of Arts. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's also in Vancouver. I took 12 months, so it's like a post
Mhm.
secondary
Yep.
private college, and
Mhm.
it's like super condensed. Um, what do you call it? Course. So
Mhm.
at first I did 12 months, and
Mhm.
for my diploma I did music production,
Yep.
and so then I was more after that I started working in studios in town, and it was great. It was really fun.
Mhm.
But then I wanted to do something different, so I went back to school for live sound recording or live
Mhm.
sound production,
Yep.
and I just fell in love with the live the
Mhm. Yeah.
live sound production,
Wow.
and I ever since then I've just been a sound tech for work, and
Okay.
work just, other than the venue that I
Mhm.
work at in Vancouver. I
Mhm.
also do a lot of music festivals and events, and of
Wow.
course not right now
Yeah.
because of COVID, but
Mhm.
um you know it's
Mhm.
it's really fun. It's really
Yeah.
fun.
This is like a work with pleasure, you know.
It doesn't feel like
Yeah.
work, honestly. It's
Yeah.
like, because I love it, because
Mhm.
every time I go to
Mhm.
work or to my gig, it's completely different. I'm
Yeah.
working with a different musician or artist, and
Wow.
it's not only that it's super fun, it's also incredibly inspiring, because it's like,
Yeah.
oh, then I get ideas from
Mhm.
all these artists that
Mhm.
I work with, and connections. It's like a
Mhm.
domino effect. It's
Yeah.
like, so you just gotta keep making connections and friends, and
Yeah.
you know
At the
you
same
never know.
time, like your passion, it's always there. At the same
Yeah.
time, get to meet other people, other musicians, artists. Wow, very, you know, mga kaibigan, Audrey Arellano, J Rose here, mga kaibigan. It's been a while na hindi tayo nakakarinig ng mga ganitong music. Sasabihin ko na ngayon, pagkat maya-maya, we will play her music and just listen to it and see for it yourselves. Audrey, we know very hectic ang schedule mo. I know. Yeah, I know you've been very busy lately. No, tell us something about what are they expecting from Day Rose? No, after this COVID thing, or actually you have current projects right now, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I guess just like everyone else, like work has been tough right
Of
now,
course, yeah.
and a lot of people stopped working, especially like people in the entertainment industry.
Yep.
And I guess for me, I'm just trying to take this time to prepare
Mm-hmm.
myself for
Yep.
when this is all over, and just trying to record more materials,
Yep.
write more songs, and just keep on working on projects. And so, because my goal, or what I would like to do after
Mm.
this, is of course like be able to to play shows and to tour, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like I, it'd be awesome to go back home to the Philippines and
Nice. Yeah.
do a media tour, like bars and events and all
Yep.
that
Of
stuff.
course.
And
Yep.
not only in the Philippines but also around Canada, and just keep promoting my music.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, um keep on working on new stuff, even though I just released an EP. I just finished recording
Mm-hmm.
another song, and also working on a Christmas song that
Christmas
I'll be
song. Yeah.
recording also.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know if I'm allowed to say, but it's gonna be part of my label actually.
Okay.
Lily Stars is
Yeah.
putting up a Christmas album from
Wow. Nice to
all of the
hear.
artists, all the Lily Stars artists, which is
Really. Yeah.
awesome because I don't know if you know, but Lily Stars,
Mm-hmm.
it's an independent record in
Yeah.
like record label based
Yeah.
in Manila. Even though
Mm-hmm.
it's based in Manila, all its
Mm-hmm.
artists are like from all over the
Yeah. All
world.
over the
So
world. Yeah.
it's really really
Yeah.
cool.
And
So
Day Rose is one of the Lily Stars artists. Wow.
mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah. So
nice, nice. Good to hear na you keep yourself busy even during this pandemic. But then somehow you inspire some artists out there. You're trying to make it out even with this situation. You have projects
yeah,
going on, and then you mentioned plans. This is the best time to, you may call
just
it,
prep and
yep,
like
prep. Yep,
because you never know. Just keep on making connections.
nice.
Put yourself out there, because the power of technology and social media is
Mm-hmm.
it's incredible. So yeah,
Use it.
just trying to use that,
Yeah.
right? So and
Wow.
like things like this too, like just
Mm-hmm.
trying to be involved and saying yes to any like podcast or
Mm-hmm.
interviews or anything
Yeah.
that can help me promote my music or get
Of
my art
course.
out there really
Yeah.
really helps. So thank
Yeah.
you for having me
Yeah,
tonight.
it's our honor having you on the show, Audrey. Because we know you have impacted your community as well. You have impacted lots of Filipino artists, startup artists out there. You may not even know them, but you have inspired some artists out
I hope
there for
so.
sure. Yeah. So Audrey, before we let you go, would you like to give a message to all your fans, followers out there in Winnipeg, in Vancouver, Manila, in the States, all over the world?
Yeah, so first of all, I just want to say thank you to everybody that's been supporting me in my music, especially to my family and
Mhm.
friends
Wow.
who's been there from day one. You know who you are, and of course to all of my listeners from everywhere in the world.
Yes.
And I know that there's like I would list all the countries, but because I
Mhm.
can actually see on my Spotify artist account like
Yeah.
where my listeners are, and it's
Mhm.
actually really cool because like, yeah, you find a really random country and you're like, oh
Mhm.
wow, like somebody from there
Yeah.
is listening to me. It's really cool.
Why not?
But
Yeah.
yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for your support and for listening to my art. And I guess I just more than anything, I also just want to say, I guess keep your heads up during these crazy times.
Mhm.
And everything does happen for a reason. It may not seem or look like it right now, but I really do feel like something really good is gonna come out of this. We're not sure what yet, but
Mhm.
I think God always has a plan for everything and for all of us. So just keep on chugging, and
Nice.
you everything's gonna be fine. So
Gonna be
yeah,
all fine. Yeah. There
yeah.
you go, mga kaibigan. Day Rose, Audrey Arellano. It's been a great honor having you on the show. You know,
Thank you.
wow. All right, mga kaibigan. Yeah, if you have further questions, feel free to drop your comments or questions here. You can even send Day Rose, Audrey Arellano on Facebook. Your messages, questions, your shout outs, your comments to her music, or anything under the sun you can talk about. She's yeah, she's gonna answer you for sure. Yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah.
just I guess like the best way probably is
Mm-hmm.
my Facebook or Instagram, which I'll send you all the social
Yep.
links so you
We
can
will.
post them.
Yeah, we will
It'd be
have
awesome. Yeah.
the links here. Okay. Okay, maraming
Awesome.
salamat,
Thank
Audrey.
you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And um, stay tuned for the next episode of Raw and Rare Podcast. Meanwhile, here's something from Day Rose from her debut EP, Panting Heart. Here's Panting Heart, mga kaibigan. See you all on the next episode. Mabuhay tayong lahat. Thank you, Audrey.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
I feel my presence show. I see my mind. I hear the thoughts inside my head running wild, speaking loud and clear without no fear. If only you'd let yourself believe in me, my dear. You know we are in the same place. You know we're living the same way. Feel something new, far from the sun, close to the moon. Long way to run. I will love unconditionally. Love that can wait an eternity.